Disclaimer: this video requires parental guidance, as some of the subjects covered are heavy subjects. Viewer discretion is advised. Hotlines will be in the description below. Hey guys, gals and non-binary pals, it's Akira here, and today I'm going to be showing you the charity pins I designed. Now, I know people get upset when I make certain words quiet in my videos, but I really do not have a choice when it comes to YouTube. I know some have suggested replacing the words with something that sounds similar or placing a sound over it. However, I firmly believe it's wrong to replace serious words with ones that do not match the impact. And I think that placing sounds over the top would be more annoying than momentary silence that I place into my words. So, I will be censoring myself as I always do. If you're upset with that, blame YouTube, not me. With that spiel out of the way, we can now properly get into the video. I will be donating 50% of the profit from the pin sales towards the different charities mentioned in this video. Initially, I was planning on making these pins out of hard enamel. However, I found it more economical to have them be made from synthetic wood. Starting with the first pin, we have Save Palestine. Palestine is currently going through a genocide. People of all groups, women, men, children, are all being raped and tortured daily in Gaza. Many do not have homes due to being bombed, and the basic living resources like food, bedding, and water are actively being held from the people of Palestine. When thinking of a design for this pin, I researched what is considered an animal that represents Palestine. I found the most prominent answer is the mountain gazelle. So I drew that along with the Palestinian flag colours with a clear message: Save Palestine. The charity choice for this pin is the MATW project. Whilst the media hasn't been talking about it as much as they used to, Ukraine is still going through hard times. People call it a war, but it's really just Russia trying to colonise and control Ukraine. Many Ukrainians are being bombed to this very day. When researching for what animal represents Ukraine, it came up with the nightingale. However, another animal that represents the Ukraine, specifically LGBTQ+ soldiers, is the unicorn. Symbolism that Ukraine has more freedoms than Russia and refuses to be colonized. The charity of choice for this pin is the UNHCR. Next up is the Bravehearts Charity pin. Child sexual assault is very common. It's typically done by people who children trust the most, such as family, teachers, and even other children. Many children feel like they cannot talk about what has happened to them, leading them to only reveal it later on in life. This gives the unfortunate result of the assaulter in question roaming around without consequence. Even when it is reported, it's still something very hard to prove. Bravehearts teaches children about consent, safety, to tell an adult they trust if they've been hurt, and supports child sexual assault survivors. As you can probably already tell, this charity is something I hold close to my heart. In this pin, I decided to draw something that gives me and many others comfort, a plushie. The colours are purple to represent the charity, and the words read, "I deserve to be safe." The symbol on the heart is the survivor symbol. Many get it tattooed to show their strength. I feel it's fitting for the cause. The Great Barrier Reef is an aquatic natural beauty that hosts homes to many kinds of sea life. Coral reefs are very important for the oceans because they provide homes for these animals. The ecosystem of the ocean needs to be maintained in order to keep the food chain in balance. One animal disappearing can throw off the entire ecosystem. Without a healthy ocean, climate change will worsen and our oxygen will deplete. This is because a lot of the oxygen we breathe comes from two big sources: trees and plankton. Many reefs, like the Great Barrier Reef, are suffering from bleaching. This is due to the current climate change crisis. Every day, more and more of our beautiful reef becomes an ocean graveyard. The Great Barrier Reef Foundation's goal is to protect and restore our underwater ecosystem. I drew clownfish as they're both recognizable from Nemo and I just like them. The next 5 charity pin designs are from the WWF Charity. All of these animals are endangered and need help. Many of these animals have lost their homes due to logging. Yes, even though the Australian government states that they protect environments that host endangered species like koalas, I have seen with my own 2 eyes that they will log in areas where koalas lived. Koalas only eat gum tree leaves. and gum trees themselves don't just sprout anywhere. Logging these important trees is a direct threat to koalas. I've drawn a mother koala with a baby on her back to illustrate that they have families just like we do. The animals of Australia and its indigenous people were here first long before any logging was done. The people of the land understand we need to respect our wildlife. To not hunt for pleasure, but for food and resources. To not waste an animal's body, and to protect endangered species. How do I know all this? Because I am both Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander myself. On my dad's side, my grandma and my dad are Indigenous, and have taught me about my culture. This is all to say that I would like the Australian people of today to take a page out of the traditional landowner's book. To love our country's flora and fauna, to not overconsume and only take what we need. So many things get overproduced and just end up in landfill. It would be so much better if things like homes, furniture, clothes, and food had a type of pre-order system. That way, everything that's harvested would not go to waste. I love birds, so drawing the Save Glossy Black Cockatoos pin was right up my alley. The Save the Platypus pin was the first time I had drawn a platypus. In fact, a few of these animals I've drawn thus far I've never drawn before, such as koalas, mountain gazelle, and Tasmanian devils. The next charity is the QSAR Charity. This charity is dedicated to giving staffies a home, as their breed often gets a bad rep and can't find homes. Our family dog Mac was adopted from this charity. He is a half staffy, half kelpie breed, so of course I drew him for this one. Mac is a dog that is full of beans, whines a lot, and is always on the hunt for food. He has absolutely zero danger recognition, as he'll walk towards candle flames and try to make friends with guard dogs. Keeping in the theme of dogs, we've got the Animal Welfare League Charity. This charity takes in dogs, cats, birds, guinea pigs, mice, rats, and farm animals. They go up for adoption or foster care in hopes for them to get a new home. I found this dog named Axel on their site and decided to draw him for the dog representation. He looks like a happy fella. Our previous dog Zeus we actually fostered from the AWL before adopting him. He was 12 years old when we got him, and he was very cuddly and sweet. Next up is the AWL cat representation. I used to have a neighbour that fostered cats and kittens. Whilst I loved all of them, I became very attached to one black kitten named Shadow. He and I would take naps together, and he'd always purr when I patted him. Plus, he gave me little licks on the cheek with his tiny tongue. I couldn't keep him sadly, as my mum is allergic to cats. So, as much as I loved him like a son, I had to let him go. I'm sure whoever adopted him is taking good care of him. Anyways, that tangent aside, I chose this kitten to draw named Max, because he looks exactly like Shadow, green eyes and all. Well, we've covered quite a few topics today, haven't we? Hopefully I was able to do all of these charities and causes justice. I will have every charity mentioned linked in the description as well as a pinned comment. I hope that attempting to raise money for charities through my art and spreading awareness of these topics helps these causes. With that all said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like my work, consider subscribing to my channel. All of my social medias and other links are all in my link tree in the description below. As always, make sure to drink some water. This has been Akira O'Halloran, and I'll see you next time.